Barrister Mbeseha, looking at this particular message from Dr. Martin Mungwa, a pertinent question here is something of interest, talking about the Bamileke people, what are the challenges and potential benefit of highlighting the historical ties between the Bamileke people and Southern Cameroons in the context of the current Amazonian War of Independence? And in what way could the encouragement for the Bamileke community to prioritize self-sufficiency and resource allocation influence the regional dynamics and relations with the La République du Cameroon government?
I think Dr. Mongwa made a very important and explicit outing there. But let me make it simpler for people to understand. It is not about Paul Biya's regime. Now, if they push out Paul Biya, that's not enough. The Bamileke is not even enough. I would rather say the Bamilekes and other interested French or foreign members of Cameroon in Amazonia. And I said it's not only Bamileke alone, because I think 2 days ago we had this discussion. I said if you go to Kumba, for example, before you get to the park, Boya Road, you're going to find a whole quartier they call Yaoundé Quarter. These are not Bamileke people. These are Wondos and Bassas. And there's some of them there. If you go to Tico, you have a Bassa Quarter, where a Bassa guy even became an MP from Tico. So it's larger than Bamileke. But what do they represent? They represent a people who fled from punishment, who fled from tyranny to seek security somewhere else. And after they fled and settled somewhere else where they thought they were safe, and they are still safe, important things came up to be decided. The future of the area where they settled. So the issue is, where is the allegiance? Even if Paul Biya is no longer there, if the allegiance is still with Yaoundé, it doesn't make much of a difference. And I'll make this illustration to show what it is all about. Most of us who live in the United States know something they call the Irish Americans. The Irish Americans are people who escaped from Ireland. They escaped from Ireland centuries back. What did they escape from Ireland for? They escaped for it was religious freedom. They wanted where they could express their religion freely. And they settled in the Americas, most of which were UK colonies. They settled in Virginia, they settled in different states today. Those states were still British colonies. And when the time came for independence, they fight against the British to obtain American independence. Where did the allegiance of these Irish people who had fled from Ireland in the UK to the US? Where was the allegiance? Was the allegiance still with Ireland, which then and today is still part of the UK? Or the allegiance was with their newfound country, the United States? The bulk of them chose to become American citizens. And because they were American citizens, they joined the fight. They fought in the war to liberate America, their newfound land. And because they embraced that notion that, well, who came here for freedom, who found freedom, who have become part of this community, they also have risen politically and otherwise to the top of American society. Many of us will remember a guy they call John F. Kennedy. He was the president of the United States. That was an Irish descendant whose parents came here, settled in the United States. They adopted the United States as their own homeland, politically, militarily, and otherwise. They fought for it. And their own son rose up to become the president of the United States, John F. Kennedy. We still remember of Barack Obama. His father came in as a visitor. He delivered him as a black guy. He grew up here, he studied here, he adopted America as his country. That's his country of birth. That's his country of origin. That's the country where he belongs. And then he has risen up to the level of a president of the United States. And there are many others like that who are in Congress, who are in the Senate, and so on and so forth. So our visiting communities from the Bamili case, because they are the largest one, the Owondos, the Bassas, whoever escaped to join us because they were in distress between 1950 and 1960, because they were escaping from the tyranny of Yaoundé and France, who came to settle with us. A bulk of them are dead. Most of them are dead. But their offspring are still there. Where is the allegiance? Are they with the Ambazonian? Are they fighting with us? If they are fighting with us, so be it. But how do they show their allegiance? Are they drafting with us? Are they demonstrating with us? That's how we would identify who we are with. And so, for those people, the Bamidi case, because they are the largest group, some of them who are my friends. We still think that it's better for them, for example, to stay in Bamenda or stay in Kumba. These are two largest towns. We stay in Tico and belong to East Cameroon because they want to cross the border without laissez-passer. They want just to go back and visit their brother without laissez-passer. And so they think that's the best way to go about it. No, no. I think I mentioned the Bamini case because when this war started, I think there's evidence that was shown that Bamini case were contributing money to finance Yaoundé. They come and kill their own brothers, the people who took them for brothers, kept them, protected them, and then now they are fighting back. They are fighting back, and they are not with us. So if you're not with us, you're not with us. If you're with us, you're with us. And you must show that you're with us. One, draft. Even in this draft, what people would draft anonymously. You're free to say, I'm drafting, I don't want my name to be out. That will still be draft. If you are bold enough to say, okay, I will take up arms with Ambazonian, that's great. And there are so many arms you can take. You can carry the gun to the bush. You can be one of them, sitting here and talking like me, defending this cause. We will know that he or she is with us. And so there's no way you cannot be two persons at the same time. You cannot be an Ambazonian at the same time and a citizen of the Republic of Cameroon. Now, if you're Ambazonian, you lose the citizenship of the Republic. I fight for the country to which you belong. And so that's what it is. If that statement is okay, if that equation is okay, I will let it go. But otherwise, if you want me to develop what Dr. Mungwa said further, I will gladly do it.
Okay, so Barrister Mbeseha, during the voice note, the voice message from Dr. Martin Mungwa, we heard Dr. Martin Mungwa emphasizing on the talks rather, to not be by clergymen or civil societies. Now, how does this decision to have professionals lead the negotiations this time rather than clergy or civil society organizations impact the potential outcomes of the talks between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon?
Well, the short and simple is this. Whether the mediator is a clergy or any other person else, it's not important. The important thing is that whoever is going to be the mediator shall be a person accepted by both parties. They cannot impose a mediator on us. Talk less of the Presbyterian Church. The moderator of the church is just a citizen. He's also a Cameroonian. The bishop of Bamenda, Archbishop, is also a Cameroonian. He's an Ambazonian. But the bishop represents something different. The bishop has a hierarchy that goes up to become a nation called the Vatican. Suppose, for example, they were to turn to the Vatican to become the mediator. I am 100% sure that the Vatican will not appoint any of its bishops in Cameroon. Because they appoint, for example, Nkia or Funky, these people cannot be accepted as mediators because they have a conflict of interest. The Ambazonians, they cannot be a judge over their own matter, no matter the positions they take. The Ambazonians, because they will have a conflict of interest in doing it. If the Vatican will intervene, for example, at the level of the Vatican, it's a country. The thing that the Vatican will do is to appoint some other, if they need a bishop, an archbishop, a cardinal, from somewhere else, subject to the acceptance of that candidate, of that person, by Ambazonian government, one, and the Republic government, two. So the choice of a mediator is not somebody who volunteer it, one. It must be accepted by two. The venue of where we will meet to decide, to discuss, is not something for Yaoundé to impose. It's not something for us to impose. The venue must also be accepted by both parties. And so it's a misnomer, it's a misunderstanding that they don't know. If that addresses that issue of the clergy, I'd like to continue further to other aspects of what Dr. Mungwa said.